Welcome to Quaestiones Profundis.
where we tackle the deep questions.
My name is Alasdair Ladd,
And I'm Aiden Skeens.
and together we host this, I don't know what we would call this, talk show,
Talk show,
something sort of like that.
YouTube channel,
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
this is sort of our introductory video, just to sort of get the ball rolling.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, well, Aiden,
Yeah.
take it away.
So I'm Aiden Skeens. I am currently a freshman at Mercyhurst University. I am studying dance performance and political science, and I'm working for my theology degree online from Theo Seminary. I'm 18 years old and I love God. I love theology.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said, my name's Alasdair Ladd. I'm currently a freshman at Carthage College up in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm doing a double major in psychology and music with a focus on composition. I'm really excited to get to do this. I'm a United Methodist Christian born and raised, and the prospect of being able to hold these sorts of conversations is awesome, especially when I
Yeah.
get to do it with a friend. So,
Yeah, definitely. Should we mention how we met?
oh gosh,
Yeah.
should we? I don't
I
know if
think we
people are ready for
should.
that.
I think we
Okay.
should. Not enough
Um,
time, just like a brief little thing.
very
Just
brief, very brief.
very
Okay,
brief.
so I am a ballet dancer. Aiden is a ballet dancer. I was dancing for what, 8, 10 years.
Yeah, something like that.
And Aiden came and joined the company I was at, and that's how we first met. He was all right at dancing then. He has gotten much better, so if you get the chance to see him, definitely do that.
Yeah.
Um, but that's how we first met, and over time, it sort of became a mentor-mentee relationship for a bit. I was trying to teach him as much as I could about dance, and we discovered that, oh wait, we actually like think about things we say, and we
Yeah.
talk about things we think about. And
Hmm.
it suddenly became apparent that what we had was the sort of capability to hold these discussions without shouting at each other, without threatening to kill each other. Well,
Yeah, well,
no, we haven't
so
done
like
that yet. We have not done that yet.
well, like he said,
So
I'm a not I come from he's United Methodist. I come from a non-denominational background, which I can get into later. If anybody has questions, drop them in the comments. I can explain my whole
absolutely,
diatribe of belief.
there's a lot.
But yeah, that's the gist of how we met.
Yep,
And
yes,
we
indeed.
started this Quaestiones Profundis because, first of all, we had time on our hands, so why not? And also because we just love to discuss this stuff and talk about theology. And we feel like, as
So much.
Protestants, we don't get it enough within the Protestant church because I know that it's just it's a lot
Yep,
more less. So
it's very
I want to
true.
get
There's
in.
Yeah, there's often a time I will be speaking with someone who claims they are a Catholic Christian, and one of the shockingly largest reasons of people becoming Catholic is because Protestants can't present a well thought through and put together argument in their defense,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah.
not good.
No,
It's not good.
just for a statement, quick statement though, is that this channel is not just strictly Protestant because we talk about Christian issues in
It's
general
very true.
because whether you're Catholic, Orthodox, Protestant, we're all Christians. And that's what matters in getting down and talking about what we believe and where we're united.
Yep. In
Um,
fact, right, it's important that we recognize we're both coming from a Protestant view, and we are going to be looking at everything we discuss from a Christian theological standpoint, but that doesn't mean we aren't going to be looking at secular issues as well.
mhm.
We are going to be doing our best to tackle both deep theological issues and deep and sometimes controversial other
Yes,
outside issues.
definitely. Even
We're
areas
going to
that we
try,
both disagree with, because I know that me and Alistair both
right,
disagree on things a lot.
we aren't going to out and out go into political discussions necessarily.
Not necessarily. We're not going to like
Um,
seek it out, but it does come with the territory,
it's going to come
unfortunately,
up.
oftentimes, yeah. But tonight we are talking about the deep questions, not question why we started Quaestiones Profundis and what are deep questions and why they're important for us as Christians to have
Mhm.
and to talk about, especially now when so many people, when there's so many. things going on in our world where we need to like be able to make it very clear what we believe, why we believe it, because our faith is not blind. I read this somewhere that faith is not blind. It's faith is believing based on the evidence that you have, but it's also not believing with full assurance.
Right. Yeah,
There's always that bit of mystery there,
always.
which is another thing I might talk about in a minute too. So,
Yeah. So let's see. So the reason we started Quaestiones Profundis, aside from the fact that we have so much time on our hands as freshman college students, because we have a surplus,
so
um,
much time.
we wanted to make sure that A, the ideas of Protestant theology were heard, and B, we sort of created a space where we could interact with all of you who are watching as
Yeah.
well. We
Christians
really
in
want
general.
your input. We want to hear what your questions are, what you think we might be getting wrong, and how we can sort of create a dialogue, because that's the
Hmm.
biggest part of this, is that we're sitting down and we're talking about it. No one's
Yes,
yelling, no
100%.
one's cursing at each other. We're just sitting down and we're talking. And
Yes.
so when it comes to comments and such, I really hope that there will be comments. Um, if there are comments that are not really pertaining to topics, they're inappropriate or just not for this time and place, we're probably going to remove those because that doesn't
Yes.
encourage and endorse what we're trying
Hmm.
to do here.
Yeah.
But do put questions, do put
Please,
comments,
if
let us know what you
anything,
think.
any comments, anything you want us to comment on. Also know that we're not experts. We're working on it.
Yeah,
We're working on it.
very
I'm
true.
trying to get my theology degree, but we're not theologians. We're not. This is just two Christians from two different backgrounds having a dialogue and hopefully including incorporating other people's ideas and inputs into this as well.
Yep.
That's most important thing, and that's what Quaestiones Profundis is, and it's centered on the deep questions. What are the deep questions, you, Alistair?
What are the deep
What are the
questions,
deep
Aiden?
questions?
Oh, goodness. Well, here's a deep question. What is tomorrow? No, I mean, that's not really a deep question. Tomorrow's Saturday. Um, but
Oh my
right,
God.
looking
Well,
at
I'm on break
philos
technically, so
looking at different philosophical and theological deep questions. For instance, after this introductory video, we're planning on putting out another video on, I think, Sunday,
yep,
and our topic is going to be the Bible. And not just
yes,
the Bible, but where the Bible comes from, what the Bible is, what it means for us, how do we interpret it. All of those different questions are sort of deep questions, if you
yes.
will. So we're looking at not just any old question, but questions that really do shape who you are, both as a person and as a Christian, because those are
Hmm.
both really important facets.
100%. The whole point of the deep questions is to help you continue to grow as a Christian. And the only way to have that happen is to ask questions, is to have the conversation, to discuss what is on your mind.
Absolutely.
And that is what the beauty of the deep questions, like the Trinity, the mystery of that, and
Hmm.
trying to explain it in some way for us to comprehend, but yet we can't comprehend it because we're humans.
Right.
But yet it's still so deep that we can understand that mystery, the divine mystery of that, try to understand
Hmm.
that, as well as other things, and even going into difficult topics as well. The deep questions also include the difficult topics when we're talking about like
Right.
lust and other things,
Hmm.
sin,
Yep.
um,
All seven deadly
substitutionary
sins. We're going to cover
atonement,
all of those.
things
Yep.
like that.
Transubstantiation. That'll be
Transubstantiation,
a
there's
fun little
another that'll
convo.
that'll be a fun little
Yep.
conversation. Talk about
Hmm.
miracles, things like that, prayer, things, just the deep
Yeah.
questions, things that hit on a
All of it.
level, but we're trying to make them accessible for people to understand so that people
Yeah.
can also try doing this on their own, not just listening to us, but going out and having the conversations on your own.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. That you don't like, sure, you can watch a video or something every now and then, but it's like go out and actually have those conversations, learn something, and
Yeah.
don't and just listen. Listening and speaking at the same time.
Yeah.
It's
And
very important.
we're lucky because we sort of have this platform that we can sort of talk to you. Um, and we know that one of the best ways to learn is by teaching others.
Hmm.
Now, basically, the second best way to learn is to talk about it. And
Yeah,
so,
100%.
really, if you see something that fascinates you here, go out and talk to someone else about it.
Yeah.
Tell them, hey, I heard this. What do you think? And start that ball rolling.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. Honest controversy is also great, especially when you disagree with
Hmm.
people. Honest controversy is how we got doctrine from the church. It's from
Very true.
disagreement and finding that agreement, that alignment through the word of God. And that's what we intend to do,
Right.
like the
Yeah.
early church fathers did and follow their example. Anything else you have to add to that?
I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to go to the Bible. I flagged down some verses in my lovely
Awesome.
little Bible. I love my lovely ESV student Bible here.
Hmm.
About just the questions in general and are can we ask questions, deep questions? Like
Yep.
so in Matthew 7, 7 through 8, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. The Lord wants us to ask questions. He wants us to know him.
Very
And to do
much
that,
so.
we actually have to look. Like when I grew
Hmm.
up not, I grew up in a Christian my entire life. And most of my life, I always knew I loved Jesus, that Jesus died for my sins, but I didn't know why. And I wanted to
Right.
know that when my faith was actually challenged for the first time, I didn't know how to react to that. And so
Hmm.
I started panicking, honestly. But then I went, I seeked, and I found.
Yeah.
And the Lord helped me through that. That's the great thing about it, that the Lord is with us on this journey when we're asking these deep questions.
Always and everywhere.
And the intuition that's given to us by the Holy Spirit and through prayer and just when we're asking these questions, the Lord will provide us with those answers
Indeed.
and with the insight
Though
to find those answers.
they may not be instantaneous. We
That's
cannot
true.
promise that in these discussions we are going to solve every deep question and
Yeah,
deep set
we
problem
won't
that
be
the
able.
world has.
Rome wasn't built in a day. So,
Um, but we do hope that we can at least start to unravel the mysteries
mhm.
that are the
Or
deep
just
questions.
spark some kind of like thought in your mind so that you continue to ask questions. Because asking
Right.
questions is good. It gets you answers. And Christians should not be afraid to ask answers. And I know a lot of churches discourage their congregation from asking
That's
questions.
true.
I've heard this, and it's led a lot of people to like leave the church because of it, because
Mhm.
they felt like they were being rebuked for asking questions. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. You should ask questions
No.
100%. All right, and I have two more verses. Proverbs 18:15. An intelligent
Mm,
heart
hmm.
acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. Once again, just seek, and we should be seeking wisdom. We should be seeking wisdom, and the true wisdom
Right.
is with Jesus.
Yes,
So
indeed.
that's where we should be seeking wisdom from,
Hmm.
and that's
And of
the
course,
yeah.
in our next video, we will discuss how we understand that the wisdom comes from Jesus and from
Hmm.
God through the Bible,
Through the
but
Bible, yeah.
suffice it to say that it does. For now, we will dive deeper.
Yes, we
Never
will
fear.
dive deeper, and we'll continue to dive deeper. And if you want us to dive deeper in anything else, please comment.
Yep. Let us know.
And finally, Colossians 2, 1 through 3. I may not read
Hmm.
this whole thing because this is Paul addressing the Colossians. For I want you to know how great a struggle I have for you and for those at Laodicea and for all who have not seen me face to face, that their hearts may be encouraged, being knit together in love to reach all the riches of full assurance of understanding and knowledge of God's mystery, which is Christ, in whom are hidden all the treasures and wisdom and knowledge. In Christ is true wisdom. So that lines up perfectly with what was being said in the Proverbs, where
Indeed.
wisdom is Christ. Jesus is with the wisdom. So to find that wisdom, we have to seek Jesus first.
Yes.
Another
Amen.
important thing about all this information is that at the end, theology is worthless if you can't love anybody. If you can't have
This is
love,
very true,
if you
right?
can't put your
I
focus on
mean,
Jesus first.
it's referenced directly by Paul in his love chapter, if you will, First Corinthians.
Hmm.
Um, right? If you have not love, then you are nothing but a clanging gong or a noisy cymbal, right?
Hmm.
So the idea here is that we will tackle the theology, but understand that the theology alone means nothing.
Hmm.
If you can't go past the simple interpretation, the word, if you will, of the theology, and put it to use and understand when to be strict and when to work purely out of love.
Hmm. Definitely. I have a question for you actually about that actually.
Absolutely. Fire away.
Um, do you feel like mysticism it can
Mm,
keep us within that? Because there's still that reason within mysticism, but I was reading about this today in Chesterton in
okay.
Orthodoxy,
Yeah, yeah.
and I actually have this quote. Where is it?
For those who don't know, the book that Aiden just quoted
Orth
is actually fully titled
Orthodoxy
by G.K.
By
Chesterton.
G.K. Chesterton. Check it out. Really good read. We will probably talk about G.K. Chesterton, do a whole thing on him probably, which we
Probably.
definitely should do. That's a new idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down.
absolutely. Put some
Um,
biographies in there as well.
so this is the quote. Mysticism keeps men sane. As long as you have mystery, you have health. When you destroy mystery, you create morbidity. The ordinary man has always been sane because the ordinary man has always been a mystic. And then this is
Mm,
another quote later on. He has left himself, always left himself free to doubt his gods, but unlike the agnostics of today, free also to believe them. He all has always cared more for truth than for consistency.
yes. Hmm.
What do you have to say on
Yeah.
that?
Well, at least to the mystic side of things, that first quote that you used reminded me of what you had mentioned a while back, um, with the plight of philosophers and how
Yes.
through their attempt
It's
to,
from the same chapter.
okay, yeah, with their
It
attempt
was a
to
very
sort of
long lead up. It took me a
grasp
while to
all
get
of
to this part.
reality.
Long chapters.
Yeah, with the
Just know
philosopher's
that.
attempt to grasp reality, it drives them mad, right?
Hmm.
Because reality is such that to truly encompass all of reality, it's not something that our mental power can actually
Hmm.
do. So when it comes to mysticism, yes, I think we have to accept that there should always be something that we don't know. Where
That's
we
what
draw that line,
I mean, if you
that's
remember my
important.
definition
But
of faith at the beginning, like faith based
mhm,
on evidence, not all, but still, you're still believing without
right,
seeing something
you
because
have to have that combination.
because faith, you're not still not completely sure, but you're pretty dang sure.
Keep
But
in mind, right? I mean,
yeah,
Thomas doubted, and yet he
hmm,
remains as one of the 11 apostles who really go out. I mean, he
yeah,
was a martyr just as
he
all
was.
the others were, right? So doubting in itself
Doubting's
without
not
the
bad.
evidence is not a bad thing.
No,
It's when you do it perpetually
yes.
with
Like the
no
quote
pause.
said, he has always left himself free to doubt his gods, but unlike the agnostics of today, free also to believe them.
Mhm.
And that's the same thing here. Like
Right,
there are things that we can doubt, but we can still believe, and we can still find answers to those doubts. And sometimes we don't,
absolutely.
because we can
And
pretty content with knowing based on what we have seen.
mhm, yes, very much so. And it's important to note that statement about agnosticism. We will come back to this and atheism at a later date.
Yes, but that's
But
just
in today's
in here.
world, right? Um, while it is true that the majority of the world's religious population is Christian, um, the people who are on the fence, the agnostics, are
Yeah.
more likely to swing towards atheism than Christianity
Hmm.
because of the culture that we have built, especially here in America.
Yeah.
And so
That's a whole
that's
other
something really
topic
important
that we
that
can talk about
we
later.
will talk about that as well.
Please drop anything so we can make them more specific so we can go even more in depth, please.
Absolutely.
And then this other quote, I'm going back to this. The whole
Hmm.
secret of mysticism is this, that man can understand everything by the help of what he does not understand.
Let's unbox that for a second. Man
Yeah.
can understand everything by what he does not understand.
Yes.
Now, off the bat, to me, that seems a little paradoxical.
It's
Right?
Chesterton. He's
I
British,
mean,
and it's old British humor. Literally, this entire chapter was old British humor
yeah,
and talking about
he has
people
a lot of
going to
that.
the madhouse.
Yep. Hmm.
I will say I was laughing. It was funny.
I'm sure. Oh, yes, he always is.
Yeah, I'm very old-fashioned with my humor.
You can know everything by what you. Hmm.
Hmm. Also, please
That's
drop in
so
the comments if you
interesting.
have any interpretation of what this means, what this
Please.
quote is, please, or
I don't
any
have
of
an
the
instant
context.
interpretation myself, but I'm interested to hear how you would interpret that.
I can't interpret it on its own. I tie it into what other previous stuff I wrote down and read.
Okay.
But by not understanding something, we still have that peace of mind in the understanding that we do have.
Mm-hmm.
Because
True.
stressing about the what we don't understand while we do understand some things, it's just because we're looking for that consistency. That's the problem with the intellectual
Right.
mind, is that
Yes.
we want to know everything,
Absolutely.
which
And
is a problem.
this is
We have.
actually something I was talking
Mhm.
about this morning. We had our daily devotions that we did with our chapel pastor. And one of the big things that we talked about today was control
Yeah.
and how we have to give over control, be willing to give over control to God, not just be
Hmm.
forced into it, but actually let ourselves give the control over. And the same thing comes up when we talk about knowing and not knowing, right?
Yeah.
When you're in control, you have to know. Because if you're to stay in control, you can't have anything that you don't know because it's an unknown variable. It could change everything, and you have no
Hmm.
idea. Once you are able to relinquish that control, you'll find it much easier to get along with not knowing everything. And
Definitely.
let me tell you, that is a gorgeous place to be. When you
It
don't have to stress about knowing everything, peace.
it's hard though to come to grips with, I will say, especially for intellectuals. And it's funny because Chesterton goes on about how art is like the only play in imagination is where that peace of mind
Hmm.
is for when you're not knowing something, which
Right.
which is why I feel like dance can be sometimes a saving grace for me or music because I play music as
Absolutely.
well.
Yes.
And even sometimes within the mystery itself of theology and apologetics and things like that, even that mystery is there's some beauty in that that gives you that peace of mind. But it's still very hard to relinquish control, especially as humans, because we want that. But
Hmm.
it's something that we have to struggle with and give it
Yeah.
up to Jesus,
Always.
especially 100%.
Yeah, it's never, the struggle is to a certain extent never ending, right? I
Hmm.
mean, you can conquer many things, but as we are still human, that struggle will continue at least for as long as we're alive, if not longer.
Yeah.
So, buckle up. That's a bit
Yep.
morbid. I'm terribly
Mm.
sorry.
Mm.
Do you have something to cheer us up, Aiden?
Um, yeah, thanks for that. Peter, do you have anything? Yeah, this is my little German bear.
Oh, Peter, the German
Peter,
bear.
yes, my
Yes.
little German bear. Yes, Clara got me that. Um,
Thank you for that moment of cheer, Peter.
yes,
We
thank you,
appreciate that
Peter.
greatly.
It was funny because he was going, so Chesterton was going on and on about materialism and materialistic fatalism.
Mm.
And I
Hmm.
was just like,
Yes.
it
That's a
was
very hard pill to swallow.
it was funny. It was really funny how he's right, but it was like really funny how he's going at it. Because he
Yes.
opens it up with like, what was his name? The one British poet who actually went mad.
Oh,
He was condemned by John
well,
Calvin.
let's see. Friedrich Nietzsche
Not
went
Nietzsche.
mad.
No, not
Um,
Nietzsche.
oh, yes. I know who you're talking
Hang
about.
on.
It
I
begins
actually
with a
have it. I have it
C.
right here. Hang on.
It begins with a C.
It does begin with a C.
Cowl. I believe it's
Actually, I
cowl.
think it is. One moment. Was it
Isn't
Cal?
that right?
Hang on. Give me a minute. Um,
Simon Cowell? No, that can't be
no,
right.
Simon Cowell is it's
No, no,
Cowper.
no.
It's Cowper.
Cowper.
Cowper,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, I was thinking Edward Biles Cowell, and he
Okay.
only translated poetry. My mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it can drive one mad.
True. True, 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 true.
But
Yes.
we'll do our best to avoid that. As you can
Yeah,
tell, we
we'll
are both
also talk
perfectly
about
sane.
that. Anything else you have to add to this?
We're
Also know that we
completely sane, I
probably will
promise.
just go off joking sometimes, just messing around.
It's
That's
very true.
we do that very
Hmm.
frequently. And
Yes,
sometimes there will be escalated moments of tension.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Aiden finds that I escalate these moments of tension for him a lot, which is why pretty soon,
He likes to rage
definitely
bait me
before
a
he
lot.
should be, he may be on blood pressure medication. So,
Probably by the end of
yeah,
this, honestly,
I'll do my
yes.
best, but mostly it's for your enjoyment.
Hmm.
Never fear.
Anything else you have to add? Deep
I
questions.
think that's all I have for this because I don't want to give anything away for our next video.
Me
I'd hate to
either.
spoil things for people.
Yes, and this is mainly just an introduction. And please have any ideas or have any like clips that you want us to like look at, please
Yes,
send them. DM us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram,
absolutely do.
Quaestiones Profundis on Instagram, and follow us on Substacks where we post our blog. Substacks
Hmm.
is great. It's awesome. And I think we're also going to try podcast maybe too with this on
That would be
Substacks,
ideal.
which would be ideal. And also on YouTube, please subscribe, follow us, leave a like and share it, please. Share
Please,
and tell other
please share.
people and please comment. Leave as many ideas as you can for us.
Please do.
Yep,
It's
and
greatly
come
appreciated.
back on Sunday for the Bible, God's revelation to us, which has a
It's
little
going to be fun.
we posted a little preview of it on Instagram that you can check out and swipe through and read, and we will be posting the actual video on Sunday.
Thanks so much for joining us. I really hope that you enjoyed this and that it seems like you may get something out of this. If not, if it's not for you, that's okay. It would be great if you let us know that, just so that maybe we can change it so that more people
Mm-hmm.
do still get something out of it. That's all I've got for
100%.
tonight.
Yeah,
I
same
really
here.
appreciate this, guys.
Yep.
Have a lovely, blessed evening.
Yep. Like and subscribe. God bless.